Today on Joe's Geek Show, I just got out of Deadpool and Wolverine. What's going on, and welcome to Joe's Geek Show, the video series where we talk comics. And before we get started, if you're new and like to support the channel, you can do so by hitting that like button, clicking that subscribe button, and sharing. And with that, oh yeah, we are definitely talking about this movie. Non-spoilers, but I'm going to give you my out-of-theater thoughts about this film. As we know, it's been a number of years since Deadpool 2, and ever since that whole Disney-Fox merger happened, most of us Deadpool fans have been eagerly waiting the series' next chapter, and we're kind of wondering how the House of Mouse, i.e. Marvel Studios under Kevin Feige, would do the next installment of Deadpool. Some say that PG-13 cut of Deadpool 2 was a bit of a test of the waters to see if the fans and theater goers would accept a PG-13 Deadpool.
And this is where we take a brief pause so I can remind you to subscribe to this beautiful bastard's channel. He works very hard to make videos for you, and with just a simple plus subscribe action, maybe he can one day monetize. Wait, is that a dark magician statue? For real? No wonder this guy needs to use an AI voice to make this part happen. He's always buying beautiful but useless shit. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled video.
But tinfoil hats aside, I was happy to see that this movie still carried an R rating, because that is Deadpool at his best. And as you can guess, in typical Deadpool fashion, the movie had me laughing from the start of the film to the end of the film. This movie really does feel like the natural progression of the Deadpool story, only this time Wolverine is along for the ride. And can I just say, Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds play off of each other very well in this movie. It was just full of joke after joke after joke that just kept hitting every single time. And I am just glad that Hugh Jackman decided to come out of Wolverine retirement to be able to play this role once again. But what is this movie? What is it trying to say exactly? Well, after the movie wrapped up and I had time to digest it for a few moments, I came to the conclusion that this movie was mainly about that era of Marvel movies that came before the MCU. Because as we saw from just the few trailers we got, this film is just chock full of cameo after cameo after cameo after cameo. There will be cameos that you expect to see, and there will be some that may even surprise you. And honestly, I could not even begin to tell you which one was my favorite overall. But what's fascinating is that despite all of these cameos, because we're used to seeing cameos in Marvel movies, each one felt like there was a purpose, like there was something that the film was trying to say. And it's not just that the movie is trying to remind us that these particular iterations of these characters exist, but is also utilizing this movie as a way to give them, I guess you could say, a proper send-off. Because one of the other themes of this film is, where do we now fit in the grand scheme of things? The MCU exists. Marvel Disney owns everything now. I can't really exist on the plane that I existed before, but am I ready to actually be placed into the MCU proper? Some of these things really did stick with me. I mean, despite this film mostly being a comedy, it still takes enough time to give us those slower, more dramatic moments that help break the pacing of all of the laughter and allows us to absorb and understand the inner turmoil of our two main leads. And at the end of it, I just really enjoyed this movie. Got the laughs you want, but it's also got a lot of heart. But those are my quick and dirty thoughts of this film. But I'd like to know what you thought of this movie if you've seen it. I want to try to keep it spoiler-free in the comments. I do plan on making a spoiler-heavy video at a later date. But other than that, please feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below.